and welcome back to the Real Sisters Real Estate Podcast. This is Chrissy Curtis. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, the Bob and Rana Group, and I'm here with my sister Jules.
I am with Century 21 Jackson Hole. Nice day today. Beautiful weekend, kind of a wintry day today, but I'm really excited. We're going up to Teton Village and we're going to go see a band called The Elevators. I don't know if you know who they are. They're a really great band. We've seen them live before. So Marcus and I are going to head up and do a little date night. We have a room up there tonight, so it should be pretty fun.
That's super fun. That's fun. What kind of music is it?
It's kind of like, do you know who Stick Figure is or Dirty Heads? Like kind of like
Yeah, I was gonna
reggae.
say, is that like Sublime type stuff that Marcus
Yes.
likes so
Yeah, yeah.
much? And
Yep.
Ella?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, we saw them.
yeah.
I didn't know them very well. We went to a Stick Figure concert over the summer and they were one of the opening bands and we were like, these guys are really good. So when we saw that they were coming up, close to us, and the Mangy Moose is a great venue. It's really small and really intimate. So it should be a really good show.
Yeah, we don't have anything fun. Oh, I'm lying. We're good. We leave for Aruba on Friday, so that's fun. But yeah, we're doing the sunset cruise that we like to do where you just go out on a catamaran for a couple hours. They have drinks, and other than that, we don't have anything planned for Aruba. We're winging it. So, we shall see. It'll be
That's
fun
the
though.
perfect
So next
way.
week I'll be Oh yeah, absolutely. I do not need every minute packed
No,
with stuff.
no.
I can't stand it actually. Um yeah, so that'll be fun. But yeah, so next week I'll be hopefully a little more tan and not so pasty and coming for you coming from
Yeah, I
Aruba.
wanna see some palm
Yay.
trees in the back if you can make that happen.
I can do my best. I can do my best. Hopefully CJ doesn't bust into the room a little tipsy, day drinking.
Uh-oh.
Hey, here we go. The real show has begun.
Our first guest.
Right. All right, you wanna go ahead and get into it? You wanna do some news you
Sure,
can
let's get
use?
into it. Our Teton Board of Realtor update. So I did something a little different on my days on market. I broke it out to our residential and building sites. Just because our building sites were 224 days on market and we're 141 for residential. So, but overall, we have 943 active listings, 17% down from this time last week. We have 35 new listings, so about even, only slightly down 5%. 26 went pending this week, and 31 sold last week. So that is actually up 90, or no, yeah, 90% from this time last week.
So our current days on market is 18. So we're down to again. So each week we've been progressively been coming down 2 days per week. So that's pretty good. We were 20. Our active units is up to about 4,800. So up to almost 3%. Our pending is actually down 2.5%. So that's kind of the and then last year, from this week last year, we're actually down again, closed units. We're down about 361 units. So it's pretty much the same thing that we've been seeing throughout the weeks that we've been doing this, trending upwards for the week to week, and then the yearly actual closing is down. So I've been saying it the whole time with spring market, those numbers will start to change. So I know nothing to worry about there. And then our national numbers. So the units from last year were actually at 3.2 months supply. And just so everyone knows, a bounce market is 5 to 6 month supply, so equal buyers and sellers on the market. I feel like here we've been a seller's market for a long, long time. So I wasn't surprised to see that. Average days on the market is still 49 nationally, and then the interest rate is hovering around 6.8, which is actually 1% down from last week. I will say last week when I pulled the interest rate, I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're killing me." But so that's good
Yeah,
news.
that's great news. I mean,
Yeah,
we need
just
it.
keep up that
Please
trend.
keep up the trend. And speaking of that
Right.
trend, because I kind of jumped into that, I have a article from realtor.com that kind of goes with interest rates and what buyers can expect. But the article's named What will the housing market look like once mortgage rates interest drops? Here's what buyers can expect. Realtor.com 2024 forecast predicts that they might dip further to 6.5 by the end of the year. Charles Daltrey, director and senior economist at Wells Fargo, says we can expect mortgage rates to continue to gradually decline over the course of the next few years alongside easier monetary policy. We look for the average 30-year mortgage rate to fall to 6% by the end of 2024 and 5.75 by the end of 2025. What it can mean is, and I'm going to just go ahead and paraphrase here now, is that home prices will become more affordable, but not much. The 2024 forecast predicts that the home prices will fall a tad 1.7 over last year. Lower rates will help bring that some of the inventory back into the market, but 80% of homeowners are carrying a rate of 5% or less. And we talked about this last week. So, unless
Mhm.
that rate comes down, and if we're at by the end of next year only at 5.75, that's not a huge flood. There's not a huge incentive for sellers to bring a lot of inventory, at least existing. We talked about the building. So hopefully that continues to stay strong. But for our existing housing market, with it hovering even by 5.75 at the end of next year, don't expect home prices to really, it's still going to be a seller's market, essentially, is what we're saying. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, so the article goes on to say, and I'll just touch on maybe just a couple more points, that the buyers can expect more competition. Lower rates will bring buyers off of the sidelines, bidding wars, over asking price offers, waiving of inspections or appraisals, all the things that we saw, a couple years ago. I would say most realtors don't want to go back to that. That was a crazy, crazy time in the market. And it wasn't really good for buyers. I mean, I guess it was good for sellers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it depends on what side of the market you're normally on. I don't think most agents aren't 50-50. Like, I'm more of a listing agent than a buyer's agent. So when I'm listing homes in that kind of market, it's like hot potatoes, like bam, bam, bam. And I mean, if you get a cash offer or just I mean, the offers are just crazy. I was actually just showing property this morning, and I was telling my buyer because she has her eye on this certain property, and I was like, expect it to be multiple offers. This house is priced to sell. It looks very nice in photos. I said that, explained everything. And, if push comes to shove, if we're in multiple offers, explaining the process of what we would do and how, and essentially, how bad do you want
Yeah.
the house and what are you willing to give up? I wish it wasn't like that for the buyers, but that just is what it is, and the high interest rates, it's just going to keep the inventory low, and there's nothing we can do about it until it
Yeah,
comes down.
no.
And I think people are just gonna get tired of sitting on the sidelines. They're just gonna be like, "Whatever, it's time to just take the plunge and make the move."
Yeah,
So,
I was speaking with a buyer just the other day, and I was telling him, I said, I know rates are high right now, but you're better off paying the rates now, refinancing by the end of next year or whatever it is, than you are overpaying $100,000. I said, the last thing you want to do is wait for rates to get low. And then we have a rush of people come into the market again. And here we are in this chaos. And now you're fighting over everything. You're waiving things. You're not truly inspecting the properties and really knowing what you're buying, which can be a scary thing when you're buying a house.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I do not ever recommend waiving inspections. I don't care. We'll go as is and then take it or leave it, and that's the way it is. I never waive that. I will if they're able to waive an appraisal, I will say that I'll tell them if they're comfortable because I can pull the
Yeah,
comps and see if it's, worth the value for the most part. If the bank will allow it. So that one doesn't bother me so much if they're willing to do it, but the inspections, you have to know what you're getting into.
absolutely. Yeah, so like I said, I will go ahead and I'll drop the full article in the comments on our YouTube channel. Check it out. It was a definitely an interesting read and it had a lot more in there than what I touched on. I just wanted to extract a few things for you.
Sure. Bullet
Yeah.
point it. Yeah, and then I found a interesting, pretty much kind of what all of us know on Inman, and it's what are today's buyers looking for in real estate. Just kind of wanted to see like what your modern buyer is looking for out there on the market these days. So, no surprise here. They want a home office or a flex space. A lot of this stuff is actually a reflection from COVID. So, a home office or flex space. That's almost every buyer that I see out there. Energy efficient features. So, double pane windows, solar panels. I'm not a big fan of the solar panel personally. Tech in the home search. So I thought that this was funny. They were saying that they want to be able to look at the 3D videos in order to essentially say yes, they want to go see it in person, or no, they can tell from the video that it's not going to work. So I thought that was pretty funny. I think a lot of people do list their homes with the 3D videos or some type of video these days. Outdoor living space, again, no surprise after the pandemic. And then just making sure that their changing family dynamics are in line with the house that they're purchasing. So nothing groundbreaking here, but just just kind of a refresher of what people are looking for, so that when you're one walking with your buyers, you know what they're thinking if they're not the best at communicating that, and then two, on the flip side, if you're talking with sellers and you can stage something to resemble an office, that's what people are looking for. So just wanted to bring that up. Again, nothing groundbreaking, pretty standard boring stuff.
No, but it is. It's important, and I like the idea of maybe staging an office. I do like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good tip. Thanks. Let's get into our what would you do?
So today's is kind of funny. um comes from Vicky Moore, and she's from Silicon Valley, and it did not have the brokerage there, so I'm not sure. So, she says during an open house, the seller wouldn't leave. He sat in the courtyard, got drunk, and told people to fuck off. Then he was finished sitting outside, so he came inside and told people to fuck off. It was a really quick open house.
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
poor Vicky. That's kind of a nightmare.
Why? I don't understand. Like,
Why?
you're the one selling your house. Why are you gonna
I
tell people
know,
to
I
fuck
know.
off? Why? I
I
don't
don't know why you
Yeah,
self-sabotage.
maybe it's like a
I don't know.
divorce thing. You don't know the backstory, but oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just a quick blurb that I saw that was funny, and I'm like, "What? So what do you do there?" Because it's your seller, you're trying to accommodate his needs, which you would think is selling the house and not telling people to fuck off. And we apologize. Mom mentioned that we cuss a lot in our podcast, so sorry, Mom. This was just a story, so I'm just reading it. um, I mean, I will tell you that some sellers are just difficult. I had some people that just they wouldn't leave for the open houses, and they were so, so sweet, but people don't want to see the sellers there, and that wasn't even the problem. The problem was is they let their small animals and their cat, so their dogs and their cats, just go to the bathroom everywhere inside the house. So I had planned on the open house and being a certain day, we had the cleaning crew come through, and even in those 2 days, like, they had just let the animals go to the bathroom all in the house. I mean, in all honesty, when I was in there, I had to basically hold my breath and then, like, come outside to meet the people that were coming through. It
Oh,
was bad.
dear. Did it sell?
Needless to say, yeah, no, it did not sell.
Shocking.
Shocking, shocking. And the little dog was, poor thing, he was just old, and they had the puppy pads everywhere, which I find so disgusting. Ugh. And the dog didn't care about the puppy pads, it just went everywhere. It
Oh,
was it
jeez.
was really gross.
Sounds like it was just a
I know.
bad situation.
It was just a bad situation, and I tried. I did everything I could. I tried to get price
Mhm.
drops, to just to try to help, but no, they were set in their ways,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah. I had a guy who just smoked a lot of pot and just was very confused, all the time, but he wasn't mean. He just called me all the time, would ask me the same thing over and over again.
You're like, "I'm gonna put it in an email so you can reference back."
I literally would say, "I'm gonna text you all this information as soon as we get off the phone. He
No, of
didn't read
course
his
not.
text, he would just call me
That's funny.
again. No,
Oh,
no,
boy.
no. No need to make it
No, no,
easy.
no.
Yeah.
Why would you?
So, sorry, Vicky, I assume that that probably didn't sell, and, yeah, that's, funny for us,
Yeah.
though, so okay, do you wanna get into our reality show
Sure,
breakdown?
let's get into the reality show. This week we watched Million Dollar Listing LA, season 14, episode 2, The First Husbands Club. Um, the one thing, the cat lady. I might be jumping forward in
Oh,
the
sh
episode here, but
no, you're fine. You're
she
fine.
talks to her cat. And she talks
Cringy,
like
man.
this, and then the cat can hear it from all over the world. I mean,
It's so
it's so
weird.
funny though.
It's so weird. I thought it was funny because Tracy is like, "When she goes into cat mode, I go into this mode," and she just makes that
Face like,
funny face
oh
like,
my god.
"Oh my god." No, I don't mind eccentric
Yeah.
people, but that was she's just yeah, but I will say she's motivated. She's like, "Yeah, I'll pay over list price to make sure it doesn't go on the
Yeah.
market." So,
Hey,
hey,
absolutely.
16,
You know,
16.5, go for it, cat lady.
in that interaction, I think Tracy does a good job of dealing with the emotional attachment she has to that house, and she does a great job of
Mhm.
managing expectations when she's like, "Look, you need to realize that we may not get this house," just a great job managing expectations. I know we deal with that a lot, dealing with emotional
Yes.
people a lot. It's easy for us to forget because we're in a lot of houses, we move them, we buy, sell, it's a commodity for us, it's our job, and we can get kind of blah about it, like, "Get out
Yeah,
of
we're
your
jaded.
house." But it is, it's
Right.
emotional for a lot of people, and it's hard, it try to keep that in perspective.
Yeah, I mean, but, she was definitely, she was just so in love with the fact that it was Diane Keaton's house that was in Architectural Digest, she just really liked the nostalgia
Yeah,
of the house is kinda what I felt. But she got it, so
yeah.
good for her? And now all her kitties can run free in that
When
courtyard
she let the
and
cat
just
free in the house, I was
live
like,
life.
it's not your house."
It's not your house. I know, I know. I know I've had people bring their dogs, and even though the animals are just so cute, I'd love to sit there and let them come through, but they cannot
No,
come
they
through the
cannot.
house. No, sorry. Someone has to wait
They cannot.
outside.
One of my
Um,
friends, sorry, I'm gonna go off on a side tangent. One of my
go for
friends walked back
it.
in the office, he had a listing, he's like, "Oh my god, I literally ran after a dog for, like, an hour, that's why I was so late getting back." The dog,
Oh,
I guess,
no.
just
They let
took
the dog
off,
out? Oh,
and
god.
he was helping the people
Yep.
find their dog, so
Oh, I will say I have been at a house and it was like, when I have sellers and they have animals, most time it's cats because dogs are crated, when you're going to show property. But it said, don't let the cat out. And the cat was so fast. He darted out like by my legs. And I was like, shit. And so I had to run after the cat. And it's a freaking cat. So it's faster than me. But luckily the cat just ran right over to the next door neighbor. His garage door was open and the guy scooped him up. And he was like, "Oh yeah, he's my buddy. He comes over all the time." I'm like, "Can I
yeah,
have the
I
cat,
gotta put the cat
please?
back inside.
I gotta put the cat back inside."
I'm glad that worked out because that could have been
Yeah.
bad.
It could have been really bad, and I would have felt terrible, but he was just ready to just, like,
Oh,
run
yeah.
out the door. Like, my cat's so fat, he doesn't move. Like, I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that? I
My
don't
cats go
he's not going
outside, so
anywhere.
they're outside at any given
No big
moment
deal.
anyways, they come and greet us, so
Yeah, no, no, but yes, I lucked out in the fact that, the neighbor was right there. Other than that, I, was kinda bummed for Tracy, she lost out on her exclusive list, but, that's just how it goes. Josh Altman, he
yeah,
deserved it.
he
He
made the
deserved
deal
he
happen. He
deserved
had
it. He
multiple
he did the
offers
work.
on a house that sat for 2 years, like,
Mhm.
wow, great job creating
Wow.
buzz, and,
Yeah.
she didn't get asking price, but, he did note, he was like, "Look, seller fatigue is a real thing, deal fatigue." He was like, "Sometimes they're just like, 'We want to move it.'" So, good job.
Right. We're
Yeah,
so
7 and a
done.
quarter is a great number.
Yeah, absolutely, good for him. Yeah, and it seemed like it went pretty quick too compared to the amount of time it already been on the market for a long time. So his marketing and pricing was spot on,
Well,
is what it seemed
Tracy's
like.
pricing
Anyway,
was.
well, yeah, it was Tracy's pricing, but at least he's smart enough to know it was, she
Yeah,
had it right.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and then I thought it was funny when Josh Flagg was showing the house to the twins, and the twins were getting so excited. They're like, "We love it, we love it, we love it, we love it," and he's like, "No,
Shut
you
up.
don't." Shut
Yeah.
up. I don't ever do that because we don't have the listing agents
Oh,
there,
that
so
must
I don't mind them getting
oh, no, God,
excited.
no. No,
But
no, no.
yeah,
I have
yeah,
coaching sessions with buyers before
yeah,
before we walk into the house. And I don't care if you love it, I don't care if you hate it. Save all your comments for when we're done looking and it's just us, please. People don't want to be
yeah,
inside it. If you say you love it too much, the listing agent's going to hear and then they know you love it. So then, you're going to pay higher for it. And if you say
sure.
you
All your
hate
bargaining
it,
is
then
gone.
you're just, being a jerk. So
Being rude. Yeah,
exactly.
it's rude. Yeah. Yeah, you're just being rude, and no one even when I always every house I show, I always give feedback, and I almost always give honest feedback, but I try to pull out one thing that was nice
Yeah.
about the house, whatever it might be. Nice backyard, love the neighborhood, but blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, and, just giving feedback for one. Around here, people don't ever give feedback, which is so annoying. It takes 2 seconds. Give me feedback on my listing so I can share it with my sellers. But I also always try to pull something nice, and I always say, like, good luck to you and
Yeah.
your seller, because it goes straight to the
Oh,
to the
that's nice.
agent. So, yeah, it is. It is. But yeah, just try to be aware and be aware that if someone does live there, someone does love their
Exactly.
house.
It goes back to the
Yeah.
emotional thing. To us, it's
Yeah,
just another house
100%.
that we walk through. To them, it's their home. So,
Right, right. So don't call it a dump while you're walking
or
through.
call it a
Just wait until
dump,
we're by
in the
ourselves.
car when you're with me later on. Right. Should we get into our listing of the week?
Sure. What do you got for us this
This
week,
week
Jules?
we have Dr. Phil's LA house. It closed last week at the list price of 5.75 million. Billy Doland of Hilton and Highland held the listing. This is a 6,100 square foot Mediterranean house, 5 bedrooms and 6 baths. I know, it's
Wow.
beautiful on the outside.
What did you say the list price was?
5.75 million.
Okay. Okay.
So beautiful outside. And then come inside
Mhm.
and there's this.
Blammo. You should stick with just the outside
Wow.
photos. Wow. So antlers, wouldn't you call those antlers, or do you think it's more
I
of a
think it's
vine?
I
What do you
think it's
think
a
that
vine.
is?
I think
A
it's a
vine,
vine.
a vine staircase,
You got a gun wall in the
um,
back.
with vine. Yes, I
I
noticed that
mean,
too, the
I'm
gun
in
wall.
Wyoming. If he's gun wall's nothing. It's fine.
Right, or even the vine wall probably isn't too bad for you guys. I don't
No,
know,
I'm gonna go with the
I don't know. I think
no.
it's horrible. Good. I'm gonna say good because it's horrible.
The, lips in the background here, I think with the teddy bear hanging
Yeah.
is really special.
Yeah, it does just really adds a lot to the space. Absolutely. If you dejunked the space as far as like took the vines away, just had a nice bar, it would be
Right?
actually be gorgeous. But it's not. It's not at
This is
all.
the front entryway. It's
Which
it
says
says
fuck right off
sorry,
the
mom
top.
again.
Sorry, mom. Is that a kitty cat that says
It
fuck?
looks like a bear. So, the bears that we see all through the house, they're called bear bricks. I don't know what
Okay.
that is.
Are they like a
I
collector
probably should have
thing?
Googled it first.
Well, we don't care about the bear bricks.
The swing
Obviously, they don't give a fuck
no, they
either.
don't, they say it clearly. It's like a Care Bear gone wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like when they made that Winnie the Pooh movie, and like Pooh was
Yeah,
evil
instead
or
of
some
giving
stuff.
hugs, it
I had
gives
to like that.
fucks. The the
Not
the
horrible, but
what is this? This is the thank
theater
you.
room.
Yeah, the theater room.
That's like a yeah, you're
The
welcome.
theater room is not terrible. I mean,
No.
it doesn't come with all the furniture, I think. So if you remove all the pink velour furniture, screams 1990.
Yeah,
I mean, The
yeah.
Godfather's
I
on.
will say that although it I know, right? So, leave the cannoli. Um, I will say though, although it screams 1990, you can tell it's like very
Oh,
nice
yeah.
furniture,
It looks expensive.
I bet it's so comfy. I bet it's so comfy. But what's
I
that
don't know.
bunny and what is that other thing right there? Is it stairs or is that like a case
It
of
looks
some
like
sort?
luggage.
When I was looking at it up close, yeah, it
I'm
looked
not
like
sure.
like a luggage case. Okay. And I don't know what that bunny
Nobody
is.
knows what the bunny is. And there's just a lot of stuff going on here. There is
Way too much
patterns
stuff.
on some pops of color done wrong.
Mo Right. Oh, yeah, just way too much stuff going on there. They, left the YouTube light or whatever you call that little
Mhm.
halo light, just leave it out there, who cares? No need to move
I
that.
mean, at this point,
Um,
if you're the photographer and you have this much stuff
you
going
care.
on, are you really gonna try to declutter? Because if you were gonna try to declutter, you woulda just removed all of this.
The Star Wars stuff, it's just bad. It's just bad all
I
around.
mean,
Bad,
Darth
bad.
Vader's in a suit, that's
Way too
kinda
much stuff.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then the bear
They're
what did you say they were?
bear
Bear what?
bricks? I don't know anything about them.
Bear
I bet
bricks,
they're expensive.
and then you Oh, I'm sure. It looks like they're obviously collectible of some sort because that whole back thing is all bare bricks.
Things get toned down a little bit in
That's
the
pretty.
bedroom. That's I mean,
Yeah.
compared to the rest.
Right. That's actually, quasi normal. I will say I like the hanging light on the side of
That's
the
cool.
bed. The view and stuff is gorgeous. And I actually don't even hate the color of the walls, that
No,
deep blue.
it's a moody
That
blue.
doesn't
We
bother me
talked
at all.
about that last week.
Moody blue. Gosh, Dr. Phil is just on
He was
top of
trending.
trends.
So we do need to we should
Yeah.
note that Dr. Phil did not live in this house, he owned this house. His son lived in the house. I kinda like
Yeah.
the splashes on the floor underneath the pool table. The pool table looks really ornate
Yeah.
and pretty.
Yeah, ornate. Yeah, it looks it's like definitely
Yeah.
custom made and, ornately done with the carvings. Here's the thing, I kind of wonder if when you walk in, it's not as overwhelming. But we're just so used to seeing minimalist pictures when it comes to real estate. I mean, first off, it's a very uh specific look. But I'm like wonder if when you actually go inside if it's not so overwhelming. I'm gonna say probably I'm wrong, but I'm trying to give a little bit of benefit of doubt here. We just talked about not being rude about people's houses.
That's nice of you. No, that
Yeah.
seems like it's terrible.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's horrible. It's
Again,
horrible. You're right. The outside's beautiful.
we're in the car, we're alone, we can say these things now.
Right. No one's listening.
Exactly right. Yeah, so that's Dr. Phil's house, or well, Dr. Phil's son's house, I guess, has
Is
decorated it. But interesting.
right. Good job. What was the whoever the listed it did he got it
Good
done.
job,
So good
Billy
job.
Doland.
Billy. Good job, Billy. All right. Well, that was a different take on real estate and what not to do. Um, what is your tip of the
All
week? What do you
right.
got for us
My tip of
this
the week is in dealing with some realtor.com or Zillow leads, cold leads. Make sure you are asking first and foremost, are you working with an agent? Um, get to know, try to get to know. I know a lot of these people on these cold calls, they're really hard to connect with. I do try to get people talking a little bit. It's very difficult, but number 1 tip, ask if they are using an agent.
Yes, that is a very good tip. And then if they say yes, next question is, have you signed
Mhm.
anything? I've noticed that when I take these cold calls, first thing I do is book the appointment, and then I ask what they liked about the house, and that kind of warms them up a little bit because we're putting the ball in their like we're asking what they
Mhm.
like, what they what they want. That kind of warms them up a little bit, but yeah, it's just hard. It's really tough to convert some of those leads. Most people just don't wanna talk, and then sometimes you even book the appointment and they
Yes.
cancel, so,
Yeah.
it just is what it is, but
Yeah.
eventually, most of the time, they are gonna buy, and as long as they're not working with someone else, and they're willing to work with you and be loyal to you, then, I mean, you're paying for the lead, so definitely
Absolutely.
take it.
I got burned though. I did. And this is why I say this is because I got learned it the hard way. I walked in, met the guy there. He walked in and go, "This is my agent."
Right?
Awesome.
I will say that's totally happened to me. I met a young lady at a new construction, and I said, I mean, I'm forthcoming. I'm like, "Here's my paperwork, even if you want me to help you with this house, I need you to sign a buyer broker, and we can make it just for this house for right now until we get to know each other." "Oh, I already have an agent." "Oh, okay. Well, have you signed something with her?" "Yeah." I said, "Why isn't she here?" Then
Oh
I
yeah.
just kinda got rude, to be complete not rude, but I was just
Annoyed.
kinda like, "Why are you wasting
Yeah.
my time?" Yeah, annoyed. And, she's like, "Oh, my agent told me to just come out here and take a look at it, and then she'll come out if, I guess, if it worked
Wow.
for her." I'm like, "Wow."
Lazy agent.
So, mine is actually kind of along the same lines of just, trying to capture people to make sure that they're loyal to you. If you go on your Zillow profile, first off, I recommend everyone getting a Zillow profile. Try to get your past sales on there, all your activity on there. Some realtors do not like Zillow, but reality is a lot of buyers are using it. So you might as well use the platform to your advantage. Put your past sales on there, but if you're on your actual profile page, if you right click, it will create a QR code. This QR code you can send or you can have someone scan and it will immediately capture all their information. They like put in their stuff and then it makes it so that you're
Oh,
working
awesome.
with them. And yeah, it's awesome, and then on the back end of it, you can see the stuff that they're liking, the homes that they're liking. You can just use it as a tool if they aren't getting back to you for whatever reason, because that's just
Mhm.
what people do. You can see that, oh, they like this house just 2 hours ago. Shoot them a text. Hey, I came across this. You want to take a
Mhm.
peek at it? Yeah, a little stalkerish, but we got to do
It's
what we got to
just a
do.
tool. You should absolutely use it. No, I
It's
love
just a
that.
tool.
Do you have to be a premier agent? Do you have to pay for Zillow?
Hmm. That is a very, very good question. So, my team, we are all premier agents. So that is a question I can't answer. So
I don't pay
you
for
might
Zillow.
want
Yeah,
to check
I'll
on that.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, yeah. Check on that, and because that's a worthless tip if that's
But
the way it
no,
is.
it's actually not. I mean, a lot of people are Zillow Premier agents. Almost every agent I know, besides me,
Yeah,
is just too damn expensive. But
it's so expensive.
yeah,
Yeah,
I use Realtor.com more.
yeah, yeah. Well, so check in on that, and then report back to us and let us know. And then Yeah, because actually that is a very good question. I don't know. But I feel like as long as you have a profile, you'd be able to create
Yeah,
that
that'd be
QR
great.
code. But even if you can't create the QR code, you should be going on there and updating your past sales. You should be making sure your bio is good, trying to get your reviews on there because people do use it as a tool when they're searching for homes. And, I'd say some of the bigger sites, Zillow, Redfin, that's really pretty much all I really see come through. um, you should beef up your profiles there so
Good
people can see
idea.
it.
I'll go and do that this week because
Yeah.
I haven't touched it since I first started.
Oh, yeah, so you just add your sales. So, I mean, I'm kinda like, on the I've been doing this for 10 years, but I've always been on teams, so I
Mm.
can't really take credit for a whole lot of stuff. So now I'm on a team where I can take the credit, so I have been trying to beef it up as much as possible. Like, you would never know how much business I've actually done.
Right.
Looking at it, I kind of have a rinky dink profile, so I need to really
Yeah.
work on it. Like, oh, this girl stinks. She said she saw a house a year. No, it's
Right.
not
Yeah, no, that's
true.
good tip.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. You too. Good tip. All right. So we all
I
wrapped up
think
for the week.
so. Well, you
All
have a
right.
lovely week, and I will see you for next Friday's podcast.
Yep. I'd say we'll be here next Friday. If you want the links to both of the articles, then they will be in the YouTube chats on
Yep.
Friday.
And remember to like and subscribe when you're listening to us on YouTube. And yeah, we will see you next week.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.